How the Russian military's industrial supplier, Rostec, went on the hunt for its critics on Telegram. Irina Pankratova and Svetlana Reiter, Meduza, wrote the main story, with help from Lilia Yaparova, The Bell. Rostec, a state-owned industrial corporation that manufactures Russian Armata and T-90 Proryev tanks, has been unexpectedly drawn into a new kind of warfare since the beginning of the Ukraine invasion. The war on anonymous Telegram channels that dare to criticize the industrial giant and its CEO, the former KGB agent and Putin's friend Sergei Chemezov. However, another person stands to gain the most from this crusade. Learn about the unlikely rise of one public relations manager, Vasily Bravko, who went from helping clients gain notoriety to revealing the identities of the people behind the anonymous messaging service Telegram. A revival of Leviathan. The media labeled a hearing in late December 2022 in Moscow's Tverskoy District Court, where the pre-trial detention of 3 former admins of the society gossip channel Tushite Svet, whose name translates to "Lights Out," was discussed, as a sequel to Andrei Zvyaginttsev's Leviathan. The video link included Arian Romanovsky, the former editor-in-chief of the Russian edition of Tatler magazine, society columnist Tamerlan Bigayev, and Kirill Sukhanov, the commercial director for Ksenia Sobchak. Since October, all 3 suspects had been detained. Tushite Svet was conceived as part of a larger society gossip publication to be produced by the journalist Ksenia Sobchak, and it currently has 23,000 subscribers. On December 22, numerous reporters and magazine editors were present at the court hearing. Alova Vodanayeva, a blogger and a fixture of Moscow's party scene, sat there as well, her Tamerlan Bigayev-adorned hoodie providing the only hint of clothing. Vodanayeva was investigated by police in 2020 for inciting hatred, after she posted comments on social media calling Russia a poor and greedy country. She had previously criticized maternity capital welfare policies that subsidized mothers in an effort to increase the birth rate. Romanovsky, Bigayev, and Sukhanov were facing much more serious charges. The prosecution claims that they extorted Sergei Chemezov, CEO of the state industrial corporation Rostec and a close associate of President Putin, out of 11 million rubles, approximately $145,000. Since its inception in 2007, Chemezov has served as the company's CEO. In fact, his tenure as Rostec's director dates back to before the company's rebranding from its dated, maiden name, Rostechnology. What dates back further than Chemezov's directorship of Rostec is his long-standing friendship with Putin, which dates back to their time spent together in Dresden as members of the Soviet Secret Service. Avtovaz, Kamaz, Russian helicopters, Uravanzavad, the manufacturer of Russia's Armata and T-90 Proryev tanks, and Kalashnikov are just a few of the more than 800 companies that fall under Rostec's wing. In 2020, Rostec reported a third of its revenue came from exports, which it said were shipped to more than 100 different countries in the form of machinery, military equipment, radio electronics, and other products. In 2021 and 2022, Rostec's yearly consolidated revenue was just above 2 trillion rubles, over $26 billion at today's exchange rate. Shortly after a post about a particularly lavish birthday party, hosted at the home of Chemezov's old friend and business partner Vitaly Mashchitsky, was published on the Telegram channel Tushite Svet, which has just over 20,000 subscribers, the case against the 3 admins of the channel materialized. Andrei Bokarev, a coal magnate, was the honored birthday boy. The channel claimed that Chemezov was present at the party. The post on Tushite Svet caught the attention of Rostec's director of special projects, Vasily Bravko, even though the ties between Chemezov, Mashchitsky, and Bokarev had long been known. As soon as the executive learned of a publication that could cause significant harm to himself and his inner circle, he notified Chemezov. Case files state that Chemezov instructed Bravko to remove the offending post by contacting the channel's administrators. Andrei Baldukayev, a member of Mashchitsky's security team, was the one who contacted Arian Romanovsky and requested that he remove the post about Chemezov after Bravko had asked him to do so. Things had been going smoothly until Romanovsky redirected him to Sukhanov. It was revealed by Bravko that in order to get Sukhanov to keep quiet about Chemezov, he had to promise him 11 million rubles over the phone. He asked for a precise sum of 11 million rubles, $2 million, to remove the birthday party post and to keep all incriminating information about Chemezov and his friends off the internet for a full year. The initial quote of 1 million rubles for the removal of the post was negotiated down to 800,000. When Sukhanov met Baldukayev at the downtown Moscow Regent restaurant on October 24, 2022, to collect the money, he was promptly arrested. Chemezov filed extortion charges against all three of Sukhanov's associates within days of his arrest. This wasn't the first time that a Telegram channel had been prosecuted on Rostec's behalf. A blogger named Anatoly Spirin was arrested in Ulanovska just a month before these arrests for allegedly extorting 150,000 rubles directly from Vasily Bravko in exchange for removing negative posts about Bravko and his wife, Gazprom Media CEO Tina Kandelaki, a constant heroine of the Russian Society Chronicle. Vasily Bravko, a Rostec executive with the oddly nebulous job title, Director for Special Projects, was the common denominator in a string of extortion cases that opened in the summer of 2022. Vasily Bravko was born in the Moscow suburb of Zhukovsky in 1987. He graduated from a local high school where he had been a popular soccer player. His friends say that he has always been confident in himself and driven to succeed. In the early 2000s, while studying political science at Moscow State University, Bravko and fellow student Alexander Kabakov, now an infamous facial recognition tech executive, founded an online publication they called Sreda.org. Former Kirov governor Nikita Belik and media manager Alexei Volin were among the early contributors and speakers at the publication's discussion club, which was hosted in part by publisher and State Duma deputy Konstantin Rykov, who now heads the state corporation Space Communication. Vasya was an excellent communicator, a charismatic salesman. One of the columnists at Sreda.org remembers how the speakers he contacted ended up liking him. Sreda.org became a quasi-political networking hub that could make a significant difference in a young person's future prospects for Bravko's classmates. Bravko always gave the impression of a man who knows what he wants, as noted by journalist Oleg Kashin.